Hi everyone, how's it going? It has been 6 amazing weeks since I have actually had time to make that meatball portabella soup that I've been promising all of you on this awesome YouTube channel of cooking and Zen moments with Wendy. So I am grateful to be back in my kitchen with you all today. It is Halloween day today, and in Iowa, which is where I am located, it is a beautiful day. The sun is shining. I believe it's even going to get up to about 65 degrees today, and I'm super excited because, as most of you know, I'm kind of witchy in that wonderful witchy good witch kind of way. So me and my sister witches, my mom, her best friend Bonnie, and a good friend of mine Diane will be all in our witch garb tonight, handing out candy to all of our neighborhood children. And I'll be giving tours of my beautiful historic home. It's called the McGinn home here in Council Bluffs, Iowa. So if you see this video and you actually watch it before twilight tonight, I guess, you can take a tour of my home from 5 to 8 this evening, have some nice treats, and bring your kids over to trick or treat and to see the witches. So super excited about that. It's my favorite day of the year because it makes me cry. And it makes me cry because I'm so happy to see all of the children enjoying themselves and out in their costumes. So it's funny, my husband always says, "Wendy, you can't cry every time kids come to the door." And I said, "I just can't help it, Brandon." And he's like, "I know, but you're gonna scare them away." And I'm like, "I know." So it's like this huge battle. Every time a group of kids come to the door, he looks at me and like, "Don't do it. Don't cry, Wendy." But I cry, as you guys know, I cry because I'm happy and I'm joyful, and I cry because I can feel emotions, and I love feeling all of those happy emotions of children using their imagination and being able to freely express themselves on Halloween. I am going to tell you, I'm going to plug a movie that I saw this weekend. The movie is called Palmer, and it is a beautiful story about second chances. We watched it on Apple TV. I would strongly suggest watching that movie. And if you want to, you can come on over to my house and we can make a food night out of it, and we will all get together and watch Palmer. So, okay, and I mean it. So you get a hold of me if you want to have a movie night and watch Palmer with me. A few new and interesting things that you may not know about that are going on in my life, my ever-changing life. So for those of you who try to keep up with me, just remember, it's not your job to try and keep up with me. You probably won't keep up with me because I am the woman of change. I strongly believe that we are, as human beings and individuals, constantly evolving and growing and exploring and having new experiences. And some people kind of have that even flow throughout their life and just kind of stay on one path. And that is good, and that is awesome. And then there are some people in this life who try new things all the time. They're constantly changing, exploring, and changing their minds and moving and doing all of these things. And that is okay too, because so much passion, like people like me who are exploring and changing and moving and not scared of taking risks. That's a beautiful thing, you guys, because we know we have faith. We have not only a faith in the universe, a faith in all that is good, but we have a faith in ourselves. And there's no such thing as failing. It's all a lesson. Life is a beautiful and amazing lesson, and we have a very gentle teacher who is encouraging, who is walking with us, and who is taking all of that with us. So it's okay, whoever you are, wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, always remember, if you are not hurting me, And you are not hurting you. It is good and it is beautiful. So with every single thing that I teach, whether it be on this cooking channel or interacting with you on a human level, in person or virtually, always remember all of these rules that we always hear about or that are inflicted upon you. They're all dust in the wind, y'all. They are not okay. So if you are good and you are happy and you are learning and growing and you're not getting all yucky on me or not doing things that are yucky to you, and you know what I mean. You know what I mean about yucky. The yucky that I'm talking about are the things that make you maybe happy for a second, but long term are destructive to you. Our God, our beautiful and wonderful God, and my teacher, his name is Jesus, and he's super cool, and he's super cute, and he's super nice, and he's not in some weird, ruly, religious kind of thing that the world has kind of made him out to be, but he's cool. Like, he's cool. If you like me, you would like him. That's all I'm saying. But he's the one who says, this life is meant to be lived. And everything you do, if you learn and grow and you explore through it, you are good. And if you don't do it in this lifetime, you will have the next and the next and the next and the next. So, always remember, the word should is heavy and it puts you back into the ground. So if you find yourself saying, oh, I should have done this, or I should have done that, or you shouldn't have done that, y'all need to quit shooting on yourself and others and start saying, I might, I may, I could, but be gentle with yourself. Have fun. Make mistakes. Live on the edge sometimes, safely on the edge. And have fun. Because life, you guys, is meant to be lived. So, if you did not know, Wendy's Bakery and Boutique is now located inside of Stella and Irene's Cafe. And that is located where I previously ran Wendy's Kitchen Boutique. 500 Willow Avenue, Council Bluffs, Iowa, in the beautiful historic building downtown Council Bluffs. So Pam Carter is the owner of Stella and Irene's, and she bought my boutique back in March, gratefully, because I did not want to spend all of my time cooking food. I prefer to be my normal gypsy self and here, there, and everywhere, which has worked out wonderful. So 20 hours a week from 9 to 2 on Tuesday through Fridays. My cute little bakery and boutique is right inside of Stella. So you can come in and you can have a nice French lunch, some hot soup that we're gonna make today. You can have shopping, you can have coffee, and you can have bakery all in one beautiful destination. So if you haven't been to Stella and Irene's lately, you could come and you could say hi to me in my beautiful bakery that is in there. And we love to spoil you. So for all of you that have already been there, you know what we are into. We are into you, into making your day a more beautiful, positive experience. So, like I promised 6 weeks ago, 6 weeks it has taken me to make this beautiful soup for you. And I'm sorry it's taken me that long, but I don't really feel bad because in the last 6 weeks I've been busy, and it's been a beautiful busy. So I always say, well, if I feel like I'm doing my YouTube, I will. But if I don't feel like it, I don't have to. And today I thought, what a special day it is on Halloween. So I thought we could make some soup today. So here we are. Take a breath. Meatball Portabella. Have you had it yet? It's a pretty good soup. It's one of my most popular ones. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make soup. All right, so I'm gonna go over, first of all, just kind of show you the ingredients that we have, and then we're gonna put it together, and we're gonna go from there. So I just have a normal pot here in front of me today. This is a beautiful non-stick pan, and even though it is a non-stick pan, I'm going to tell you guys it's always really important still to spray your surfaces, because especially if you're going to use this pot to cook your soup in, and then if you're actually going to keep your soup stored in here, the longer that it stays, the more it's going to coat your sides. So if you don't use a spray, it's going to be a little bit harder to get this soup off whenever you clean it, regardless of if it's in there for a couple hours or a couple of days. So I would just always spray my pan. I used a restaurant grade spray, so that is now done and handy dandy. So we've got that. I have my replacement knife today that my mom got me, because my good knife that I love so much is actually at the boutique, and I'm not there today because it's Monday. So this is a great knife. I always have my scissors handy so I can use it to cut my fresh herbs. Today we're going to be using fresh rosemary in our soup. Fresh herbs add so much, just a whole nother level of flavor to the soup. So I got this at Trader Joe's. You know, I'm such a huge fan of Trader Joe's and of Aldi. This was $1.69, and look at it. There's a whole great big bunch of rosemary in there. I also have some Portabella mushrooms. I'm just gonna say right now, so I don't have to say it through every ingredient, but I got every single thing that I'm using, 90% of what I'm using, from Trader Joe's. So Trader Joe's here in our area is located at 103rd and Pacific. Lovely store, but you can always Google and find the one that's nearest to you. I have prayed, just so you know, because I do still spend some time in Pensacola, Florida, and they do not have a Trader Joe's there, but they need one. So I have asked our beautiful, wonderful God, in Jesus' name, to please bring a Trader Joe's to Pensacola. I will have you guys know that I did ask Jesus in December of 2019 if he would please bring Aldi to Pensacola, and you know what? Guess what? Y'all got 3 of them now, so you're welcome. Yay! I'm so grateful. And I actually visited all 3 of those Aldi's when I was in town last time, and they were beautiful stores. So European stores that have the best products at low prices. So it's a win-win chicken dinner kind of thing, you guys. Okay, mushrooms. We've got butter. I use butter and not margarine, just so you know, and not olive oil. If you are a huge fan of olive oil or margarine, once again, you are more than welcome to use those things. Just because I do it a certain way does not mean that you have to. But I use real butter because as I'm sauteing with butter, because it's considered a whole natural food, it doesn't melt away. Whereas if I am to be sauteing things with an olive oil or margarine, those things will cook dry because they have some saturation in them, and it cooks all out of it. So your butter does not do that. So I'm just a real big fan of butter. It's the only thing I ever use when I am cooking. So it's just what I like. Okay, and then we have some meatballs. You can get turkey meatballs. These are beef meatballs. These did come in just a cute little packet. I am making a small amount of soup today. This will probably be about 12 servings total. And it's just a pot full. I can't really say how many servings. It just kind of depends on how many or what size of bowls that you're using. But we'll just say it's a pot full of soup. So this is, how many ounces? 18 ounces of meatballs. We've got some honey. And I just went to Galena, Illinois for my anniversary in September and picked up this really pretty champagne dill mustard. But any kind of mustard will work in the soup, but I would suggest if you want it to taste like mine, I always use a spicy brown. So like a spicy brown or a stone ground mustard, and this is kind of in that same family. If you use a regular yellow mustard, it's just not going to be quite as French. as it could be when you were using maybe some of those other forms of these higher quality mustard. And then I have garlic. So if you're a rock star like my husband Brandon, so cute. He never used to cook, you guys. And now because I'm so busy, he's taking up cooking, mostly smoking and grilling, but you never know what this man's up to. So he actually got the whole garlic cloves that you actually have to crack and peel. I'm lazy one day. I just use the jar, that comes with all the garlic in it. Huge fan, because I just don't want to spend the time on that. But you are welcome to do whatever you want. Remember, no rules, you guys. You can do what makes you happy. And then we definitely need a broth. So today, I got a vegetable broth. I want to talk a little bit about the difference between broth and stock. So a vegetable broth, this comes from the actual carcass, I would say, or this comes from cooking vegetable. So if it was a chicken stock or a beef stock, let me finish that thought. Chicken or beef stock actually comes from the liquid of cooking your meat. Okay, so like the carcass of that. This comes from cooking vegetables down. So you would be more than welcome to make your own broth of vegetables if you maybe cooked like some carrots and some celery and some onion and then smashed it down and strained it. I'm not going to do all of that today. Maybe around Thanksgiving I will show you how we can make a homemade stock. But there's also a stock comes from the bones of an animal. So broth comes from the actual cooking down of the meat or vegetables. That makes a broth. But if you see in the store on the different shelves a vegetable stock or a beef stock or a chicken or turkey stock, that comes from the bones, of cooking the bones down. So that is the difference. If you're wondering, you're also welcome to use a low or reduced sodium level. Those things are all up to your cooking preferences. So I just have one thing of vegetable broth today. And then the magic ingredient we have here is heavy cream. We go through so much heavy cream. I swear we keep the dairy farmers, bless them, in business. So you are also welcome to use a milk or half and half. And I actually do use some of those things when I am cooking if I do not have any heavy cream. So that is the ingredient list in this recipe. I'm not writing it down, but you will assimilate what I am doing and you will get those into your memory as I begin to use those things. So to get started, it is very important. Did I say a purple onion? I've got a purple onion here too. So it's very important that when you're making a soup, you can choose whether or not you are going to open the flavor of your vegetables. So if I were to just put an onion and mushrooms in the soup without sauteing them, the soup is not going to have quite as much flavor. Because when you saute a vegetable, you are opening up the pores of that vegetable and releasing all of its earth-grown flavors. So I would strongly suggest, and I always, and I do mean always, saute my vegetables first thing. Step number one always when I make my soups. So if you're saying, that makes sense now, that's why her soups maybe have a little bit more or different flavor than mine, it's because I open up those flavors. And then, as you can see, I just cut that onion. Here's my butter. I am going to tell you that you will see that I am going to use, normally I use a whole stick of butter, but that's for a pot that is twice this size. So today I'm just going to use half of my stick of butter there. I'm going to use some garlic. I hate measuring stuff. I go by how I feel. That onion is strong. I may be crying a little bit. So you can see me put that onion in. I would say I did about 2 teaspoons, garlic. I did about 2 teaspoons of garlic. All right. So I've got that in there now. So what you're going to do, is you're going to saute that now, and you're going to open up your flavors. So we're going to pretend, just for time purposes, that we sauteed this, all right? So sauteing will be done on medium-high heat. So here we are, sauteing our garlic and our onion. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our mushrooms. So I do use Portabella mushroom. You can purchase whole mushrooms or pre-sliced. I got the pre-sliced today because they were the exact same price. There's also a white mushroom that you can use, but then it would not really be a meatball portabella soup. It would just be a meatball mushroom soup, because portabella mushrooms do have a stronger flavor. It's a more earthier flavor, and it's a flavor that I really like a lot. So I'm putting all of these mushrooms in the soup, you guys. So mushrooms, if you work with mushrooms, you do realize and you do understand the concept that as they cook, they shrink down. So these mushrooms are going to shrink down quite a little bit here as they cook. So I am going to go ahead and put all of them in. Okay, some other things that we add to our soup today is we add some salt. I'm going to count to 5. Remember, and you all know the same thing that I teach in everyone, you can take salt and add it, but you can never take it away from your dish. So if you are kind of new to cooking or you don't trust yourself, definitely put it in your hand and be like, yep, that looks right. I did a teaspoon of salt. As it cooks, you can add more, and I just used a straight iodized salt today. You can also use Himalayan salt, sea salt, or salt from a cracker. That is completely fine. We are going to add some smoked paprika. Trader Joe's smoked paprika, it's great. I already talked about paprika in a last video, so if you want a lesson on paprika, definitely watch my French quiche video, and that will talk all about paprika. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I also need pepper, garlic, and onion, so I'm going to have you just pause for a second. I'm going to go to the other side of my kitchen, and I'm going to grab those ingredients quick. Hi. I wasn't going that long, was I? Okay, garlic. Here we go. Garlic powder or granulated garlic is best. We definitely don't want to be using garlic salt because that will increase the salt content of our food. And your food could be too salty then. Some onion powder. Once again, you guys, I always just generally count to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can measure if you are like, oh my gosh, I cannot follow this lady. She has no rules. She doesn't measure anything. She's crazy. Well, you're right. All those things that you just said are true. However, remember that I am good at this. I've been doing this for a while, and I am an organic rustic chef. So I believe that I can sense and I can feel the amount of product that I need to put in my soup. If you are not down with that, or you're not that kind of chef, or cook, whatever you want to call yourself, start with a teaspoon. So do a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of onion, a teaspoon of garlic, and a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Okay? Better? Okay. Then I'm going to crack pepper. 1, 2, same thing. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we're stirring all of those beautiful ingredients together. Everything is sizzling and cooking. It smells amazing as it's cooking here. All right, now everything is sauteed down. Sauteing, you guys, it takes about 5 to 7 minutes. You don't have to completely cook it through, because as your soup continues to cook on your stovetop, it's gonna cook down, and those things are gonna get nice and like, it won't be as crunchy. Like, they'll get done. So we have that. All right. So now we're gonna add some magic ingredients. So these are the things that I swear by, and I'm actually really just showing you how to make a homemade béarnaise sauce. So we're gonna add our pretty mustard to this, and look at, I'm doing quite a bit, so I'm doing 2 heaping spoonfuls of mustard. We're doing some honey. Honey. Now you know why the soups taste so good. This just adds another level of, I guess we'll just say magic to it. It just makes it all come together. I'm doing 13 on this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay? We need some lemon juice now. I forgot to tell you about the lemon juice. Where's my lemon? You can fresh squeeze your own lemon. That would be awesome. You can use the lemon juice out of, that cute little lemon squeeze that you get at the store. This is my lemon that I have. It might look a little bit different. I'm gonna go ahead and do a spoonful of fresh lemon. So good. Okay. All right. Now you can really smell all of those beautiful flavors coming together. Let's go ahead and get our meatballs prepared. So you are more than welcome to leave your meatballs whole if you want for this soup, but I'm gonna tell you that I cut them either in half, and you are more than welcome, you guys, to make homemade meatballs if you want. Not this girl. Now you know. Now you know my secrets. I usually get my meatballs when I do it at the boutique from Sam's Club because there's a great big huge bag. I'm cutting these Trader Joe meatballs into 4 because they are big. And this makes it more bite-sized. That way you get like a meatball in every single bite that you're doing. You guys, I'm super excited. I hope that you make this recipe, and feel free to comment and tell me how it turns out, or come and see me. I love when you guys come and see me and send me pictures. Oh my gosh, you guys on my Facebook, thank you so much for all of the Facebook messages and posts that you make showing me all of the things that you make that I've been teaching you, especially charcuterie. The charcuterie is fun. I really like that. So just so you know, a few things as we're getting these meatballs cut up. You can follow me on Facebook. It's Wendy's Bakery and Boutique. Obviously, you are following me on YouTube. I hope you're enjoying that. I really enjoy that. And my website is wendyskitchenboutique.com. And that is going to have all of the tabs. It's going to have my bakery tab. It's going to have my culinary tab. All of those things, but a really important tab that it has is my Zen and spirituality. I've got a couple cool things coming up in November. So in November and December, the things that I just posted today that you may want to look into or register or enroll for is I've got where the names from my menu came from. So if you've eaten at my boutique, you will see that everything has like a special name, like the seamstress, the statesman, the perfectionist, when Feta met Sally. Feta really liked Sally, and Sally wasn't sure if she really liked Feta. So that's a whole love story that is behind that. The perfectionist is how perfectly stately that my knight in shining armor is. So that class, so December 9th from 6 to 9 at the boutique, you can buy a ticket and attend that fun event of where all of my names of my menu items came from. So that will be done by me telling stories and you getting to sample and taste all of that wonderful food. And then November 17th is Picking Up the Pieces class, and that is one of my Zen classes and spirituality classes that's held at the boutique as well. And that is teaching you more of the things that I talk about like overcoming shame and guilt, and being free to be yourself and to overcome some personal struggles maybe that you've had in life. It's also helping you to be intuitive, and you are not meant to be like me, and I am not meant to be like you. But what you are meant to do is to fall so deeply in love with yourself. Those are your quirky, silly things. That's why I don't edit these videos. Like, I want you to see like me as I am, because that's who I am. It's good. It's okay to be who you are, and that's kind of what I like is you get what you see. And I like that when I'm talking with you. I don't care what you do for a living or what anyone else thinks about you or what this person may have said about you. Who cares? What I want you, like, oh my God, tell me about you. Like, tell me like the cool things about you. Tell me like what you do when no one's around. Tell me your hopes and your dreams. And do you remember your past lives? If you do, please tell me. All of those cool things, you guys, because we are so beautiful. So let me get to know you, and please get to know me. If you have any questions about me or any of the crazy things I've done in my life, or if you want to tell me all about you, please come see me. Email me. Message me, call me, 813-255-5153. I love spending time with my fellow human beings. It's a beautiful thing, and it's why we're here on this earth. So, we've got our meatballs cut. Oh, I got one left. I lied. So, now we have our meatballs and all of our things in our pot of stew. And our pot is getting full. Look, you guys. Look how full that is getting, all those great ingredients. So, let's recap what we've done. So we have sauteed our garlic, our onion, our mushroom, and our meatballs. We have added our magic ingredients. So the magic ingredients is that mustard, that lemon, and that honey. That's what makes it a béarnaise sauce. You are also more than welcome to go to Super Saver grocery store. You can look in your local grocery store too, to see if they have a dry packet of that DALL brand, Doll. It's a green packet and it says béarnaise sauce. Put a packet of that béarnaise sauce